far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare, but when I stopped to see through sight, peeking for help, peeking for... That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Locker Room Breakdown. As you see, no OMD, he is still on vacation. He's got his little guy with him. But I got the ship. It's myself and Mr. Best. Mr. Best, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. A lot better than I was last week, to say the least.
Yeah, I heard you weren't doing very well, but that's okay. You are pulling through and getting better. That is what counts. And thank you for coming in to help me keep this ship afloat while OMD is on vacation. Why is my thing not sitting straight? There we go. I know we did this yesterday, but I want to do it really quick again today. I'm going to play a quick little clip, and then we'll say a special thank you to somebody.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'm on a bear. And the boys love you.
There you go. So one of our frequent watchers and very big supporter of the Boar's Nest, Mama Bear, had her birthday yesterday, so I thought I'd play that again. Because I can. Yeah, no, she's a great supporter of everybody and everything Turnbuckle Studios, so I thought I pulled a little string last night and got a little video made for her. But let's get to the task at hand, Mr. Best.
Let's do it.
Talk preview for Raw. Let's go. Let's start with what we thought was going to be the main event and ended up being the opening match. The Judgment Day facing the New Day for the tag team championships. The World Tag Team Championship, not just the tag team championships.
Yeah. I'm just going to point this out. I didn't think that this was going to be the main event last week at all.
No, I did. There was a couple of like myself and I think it was OMD. Like, oh, that should be the main event. Because, again, we didn't know everything that was coming up, so they kind of threw us a curveball. Now, Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough did win. Balor delivered the coup de grace on Woods to capture the titles again. How did you feel about this match? Give me your quick little rundown of what you thought.
Going into this match, I actually thought the New Day was going to take it, but then I had this kind of scenario thought out in my head, but I was completely proven wrong. Where I thought it was going to be Finn and JD just looking to regain the tag titles now that JD's back, but I actually forgot that they dropped the tag titles to the War Raiders, not to the New Day. You know.
Yeah, that was I went to the War Raiders first, and then they grabbed it on them. So that's not a big issue.
But this, all in all, this was a fantastic match. I enjoyed it from top to bottom, despite laying what felt like on my deathbed while watching this match. I was thoroughly entertained.
It was a very back and forth match. I couldn't tell you who was going to win while I was watching it. I was rooting for Balor and Judgment Day because I really, really like JD and Finn together as a tag team.
Yeah.
Again, mentor and student, so it was really nice.
But now I've got this scenario in my head where now the Judgment Day have seen more success in Liv's absence than when Liv was there.
Whoa. Is that something to be foreshadowed for when she comes back?
That's what I'm leaning towards.
Does Dom find himself a new girlfriend? That's too funny. I can't help it. But it was a good match. Again,
it wasn't one-sided. It wasn't a squash match. It was very well done, which was good. Next we had Rusev facing Sheamus. Again, we kind of knew what to expect out of this match.
Yeah, just a straight up beat down brawl between these two men.
Yeah, and the way I had predicted things to kind of happen on this show last week was that it was going to kind of start in the back where they were just going to, because these guys have history. So we thought they were going to start in the back, start beating each other up, and it was going to be, okay, you know what? That's it. Split them apart. Your match next week or at the pay-per-view is going to be put some stipulation on it, and then it was going to go on to, they were going to have like a cage match of some sort, or like a collar match or a bull rope match, some kind of, to keep each other from running away or getting too far away from each other. But it ended up with just a straight up brawl in the ring. It didn't go out the ring too much. So a pretty honest wrestling match from my point of view, with Rusev getting the win. And then he leaned down and whispered something to Sheamus after the pin and gave him a kiss on the cheek. Something like, thank you, brother, or something along the lines of, it's done kind of thing. But it really is. How do you feel about, number one, the match and where it's going to go?
Oh, I think this was actually the finish. I think the finish to what we're seeing, because
okay,
I think we need to build towards Otis coming back and getting revenge on Rusev somehow.
But
Otis hasn't been on TV since Rusev attacked him, and
he's been off on like a vacation kind of thing, right? Like,
so I've heard,
healing, because he had some injuries that he needed to just kind of chill for a bit.
Yeah, but this was just exactly as I expected it. A knockdown, drag out European brawl between these two men. Yeah. Anytime I expect Sheamus, Rusev, or even like William Regal, anytime I know I'm going to see them in the ring, I know to expect some hard hits.
Yeah, these guys didn't hold back at all, which we know for a fact that Sheamus is that kind of guy. He's like, hit me. Don't butterfly it. Like, hit me. Don't be a wimp about it. Do it. I'm a big dude.
look who Sheamus's training buddy was. Triple H. Triple H was the exact same way. Hit me. Don't dawdle. Just lay into me.
Yeah, do it. Let's give the best show we can. And how do you do that? You make it real. You don't, like I said, you don't butterfly hit people. You don't go, oh, you're hitting the guy. So, but I enjoyed the match. Again, how can you not? These two guys have great chemistry in the ring as competitors, and they're super heavyweight guys. Like,
yeah.
How do you basically put on a show without having good hits?
Right.
Two guys like this, you really, and the one chop that Sheamus received from Rusev, dude, that lit my chest up. I heard the thunk along with the slap sound. Like, it was, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. There was, because of me being sick last week. I was in and out of it, just trying to pay attention to the match. But when I heard that thunk, I'm like, oh, that snapped me out a little bit.
Yeah, you knew somebody was getting, and it wasn't even, as we call it, a receipt. It wasn't. It was just straight up two guys that respect each other and know each other's limits, just having a great match, and I loved it. But yeah, like I said, Rusev defeated Sheamus and whispered something in his ear. I don't know what it was, but there was a kiss on the cheek. Whether that's like a kind of a respect thing between those two guys.
or Rusev just getting a little cocky.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, or Rusev kind of pushing that button just a little bit, saying, "Haha, I got you, and you're mine now." And
yeah, and if that's the case, Sheamus will want to look for some kind of revenge.
That's kind of why I think there's at least one more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it's going to be a gimmicky match or just something. I think there's one more match that could possibly come out of that. Now, kind of a good match was Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria, ending in a double pin draw. So yeah, both women ended up getting a pinfall in that match, which promoted a physical brawl afterwards where they had to be pulled apart.
Yeah.
Did you get to catch this?
Yes, yeah. I liked this match, but I think that finish kind of fell flat for me. I know where they were going with it. I knew that we were going to a triple threat match at Evolution, which is where we're going.
Yeah.
I just don't know if the double pin was the way to get there.
I knew Becky couldn't get involved. We knew that, because this is for a number one contendership for her title. Whoever wins faces her at Evolution was kind of the layout was. And we all knew, like you said, they wanted to do a triple threat for that title just because these three women are so intertwined in a story right now.
Yeah.
How do you not do a triple threat, right? I agree. The finish was kind of like, what? Why that? It made no sense to me. But at the same time, go ahead.
I think what you could have done though is because the match started to get a little bit intense there between the two women. Mm-hmm. You could have had them do a double disqualification, and that would have been fine. Where maybe Bayley grabs a chair, Lyra grabs a kendo stick, and they both swing at each other. Double disqualification right there.
Yeah, right. Like something crazy. But to have just a double pinfall, it kind of just took the match from here and went.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't like it. But it makes sense. Why they did what they did makes sense because they wanted the triple threat.
Or even something even more simple, like not grabbing the weapons, but both women just laying the fist to each other on the outside, and they both missed the 10 count.
The 10 count. Yeah, they're just, oh, well, you both got disqualified. You got counted out.
And then the brawl
too involved in
that way you can keep that brawl going. And then that's when you get Adam Pearce stepping in and saying, hey, okay, since we couldn't settle this in this match, we're going to put you guys in a triple threat.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Something like that would have made more sense. Have them both counted out. Have Adam Pearce come out and go, really, we can't finish it this? Fine. You're both going to get what you want. You both have a title shot, and that's it. If you can't get it done now, you can't get it done at all.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's the final opportunity you're going to get.
It is official.
I could have went for that. Though. It wouldn't have bothered me. Like you said, the end just went bleh. Like all that air that I built up just kind of got let out like a whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
Next, we had this amazing new tag team. I don't even know what they're going to call these guys, but it's Braun Breaker with Bronson Reed taking on Sami Zayn and my boy Penta. Now, Bronson and Braun won this match.
Yeah, this was the main event for Raw, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. What's it say? After the tag battle, Breaker finished Zayn with a spear following a double team effort.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
Sammy got speared out of his boots. And it was just like, oh, I thought they were taking Sammy off of TV because of that. And I'm like, oh, after reading what's going to happen tonight, that's not the case.
Yeah, no, we'll get to that.
But this match was just, you can feel the sparks heating up between this whole thing with Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Penta, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and this maybe rumored fourth member that could be joining them.
Who could it be? And I've discussed this to the ends of God's green earth and back with Parrish.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't even think of who would fit into this 3-man super group right now, as I like to call it, because there's nothing they can't do, and no one can do anything to stop them.
At the moment. I don't know why, but my brain goes to Ethan Page.
Ethan Page?
I don't know why, but I just feel like he would be the fit for that young, if they are going for that evolution kind of thing.
Which we think that's what they're doing, yeah.
It could be him coming in as that young Randy Orton style wrestler.
Ethan Page. Wow. Dude never even crossed my mind. So that's why we all talk about what we talk about, because you had a different perspective than the two of us. So I'm not going to be upset about it. If that's who it is, good for him. Look who you're learning the business from for the main roster. You got the best, one of the best in the business in Seth Rollins. And
I know a lot of the rumors I've read was leaning towards Nathan Frazier, but Nathan Frazier, to me, he's a little too on the nose because of his relationship with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, for those that don't know, was Nathan Frazier's trainer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. I wish I could have trained under somebody like Seth Rollins. That would have been epic.
Yeah.
So we do have some show highlights and segments. Mm-hmm. We did have Rhea Ripley kicking off Raw.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm laughing here because I did watch the breakdown after I watched Raw, because I did watch the early edition of Raw and then watched your breakdown. And I'm sorry, but I had to laugh at how wrong you guys were talking about Rhea Ripley coming in, because I had already known what Rhea had said.
Yeah.
And
we were way off in left field, like so
way off, because you guys thought she was coming out to talk about her rib injury that she suffered at the PLE, and that she was going to take time off and all that.
Yeah, that's what we thought, yeah, because she got jacked.
Yeah. And it turns out she's actually fine, and she had one hell of a promo with Io Sky there.
Yes. It was a great promo, Io Sky, the women's champion right now.
Yeah, and this is going to lead to they're going to have a match at Evolution.
Yes. Exactly. But it wasn't the usual kind of promo where it breaks down into, they're face to face and kind of screaming at each other and fisticuffs break out and blah, blah. It was very respectable.
Yeah, this was Io coming out saying, I still got your number, essentially.
Yes. And Rhea just kind of going, yeah, but I might have yours.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, it's hard to bet against Rhea. It really is. But Io does have her number right now. So she's got to come up with... Go ahead.
Io has defeated Rhea every time they've met. Every match they've met.
3-4 times now?
Yeah.
That they've met, and Io's beat her every time. Like, barely.
Yep.
But she's beaten her. So is it time for Rhea to get that one back, get her title back, and go to Paris and home? Because they're going back to Perth soon, like in the next couple of months,
Yep.
with that title. Is it that time yet? Or does she go home with no title and just go there to be the attraction that she is and the great female wrestler she is? How do you see that going down? Do you see her getting the title, going home with it, or is
I've been going back and forth in my head on this one. I'm like, is this the time where Rhea finally takes it? Because I'm honestly not ready for Io Sky to drop the belt either, because I've really been enjoying her run with the championship.
It's been a very respectable run too.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it hard. Go ahead.
If Io does win, then I'm going to say at SummerSlam they have another match, and then that's where Rhea probably takes the win.
So you think by SummerSlam she'll get that title back?
Yeah, because I get this feeling, again, because you've mentioned Perth, and well, they've got the Paris trip coming at the end of August as well. Yeah. But the trip to Perth is the one I'm really thinking about. And at that point, they're going to put Rhea in one of the main events.
Well, they have to. And the only two main events that I know of are the men's 2 championships facing each other and the women's 2 titles facing each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's kind of where I was. I'm like, by SummerSlam, she should get the title at SummerSlam and then go to Paris. Because it goes SummerSlam, Paris, Perth? Or is it Paris, SummerSlam, Perth? I know it's in that order. I know Perth is last.
I think so. I feel like because SummerSlam's at the beginning of August. The Clash in Paris is at the end. I'm going to assume there is no September event because I haven't seen anything announced for a pay-per-view in September.
Not yet.
So, yeah.
But that's subject.
So I'm going to assume that Crown Jewel does take place in October.
That's Perth. Yeah, that's in Perth.
Yeah.
So anything can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see her go into her hometown, her home country, with that strap around her waist. Because what a main attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because that's where she's from. Like, throw the belt on her. Have her and Io have an absolute battle at SummerSlam. And
if Rhea can't claim the belt at Evolution,
I don't see her doing it at Evolution. But again, if she doesn't,
that's where the match is going to happen.
Yeah, and if she doesn't, how do you justify another match?
Rhea has to earn her way somehow.
She always does. She always earns her way back to that title shot. She's just got that kind of charisma, we'll say.
She is one of the top women draws on the WWE roster.
Hands down. I even put her number 1 myself personally. Because I'll tell you right now, again, just putting it out in the universe, if WWE ever did a house show in this area and there was all the women coming and they didn't have Rhea, I wouldn't be going. I wouldn't.
I'd still go. It's still it's live wrestling. Can't deny it. So
I would really think about it. Like if Natalya wasn't there and Rhea wasn't there or Io Sky, because those are my three top, I don't think I could go. But again, it's just a personal thing. So you mentioned earlier Gunther, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, LA Knight.
I totally forgot to add Punk to that Rollins situation.
Yeah. So we did have a bit of a promo between Gunther and Seth. Very respectable. They were just kind of telling each other how it is. And things went awry when LA Knight or CM Punk came out, and then LA Knight came out, and then it just went haywire from there.
What actually happened was Punk came out. He chased Rollins off. Rollins ran his way up to the end of the crowd. LA Knight then popped out from out of nowhere in the crowd, and then brought Rollins back to the ring and brawled with him.
Yeah, he was in behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Came through that
corridor in the back.
Couldn't even see
him though. That's the thing.
Dude, he was wearing dark colors, and they didn't have a spotlight directly on Seth, so you really didn't see him come in behind him until he was right there, and that bright yellow Hogan shirt popped out. I was like, holy, we're getting wild here.
Yeah, and then he took Rollins on a tour of the arena, basically.
Yeah, he did. He beat the ever-loving snot out of him. But we did have some things announced for Evolution, the Raw and SmackDown general managers were both in attendance and made a match. They made a battle royal match, and they made it official this week, I think it was, that Roxanne and Raquel are the title holders.
Yes.
But to be the actual champions, they had to go through a team from Raw, a team from SmackDown, and a team from NXT to maintain those titles. But that's not going to be on Raw. That's going to be where?
At Evolution. And that was per Finn Balor's request, by the way.
Yes, Finn Balor kind of advocated for, hey, can we just, she's already part of our group. Can she just till Liv gets back?
Yeah.
And they had a battle discussion.
And to add to the battle royal, the winner of that battle royal gets a title shot against whichever women on whichever roster they're a part of.
Yeah. It doesn't, they don't specify.
At Clash in Paris.
Yes. Clash in Paris. Yes, you are correct. Mm-hmm. So I was like, bonus.
What I'm expecting in that battle royal, by the way, I'm expecting legends to show up. I'm expecting NXT women to be in there. WWE, of course, the main roster women will be there as well. I kind of want some AAA women to be there and some NXT women as well.
So in the open mic night that we had last night, Parrish and I, we discussed that. Who would you put in there? And we literally said there's no reason that they can't put every faction in this match, like every company, so to speak. Why can't we have a couple of women from AAA, from NXT? They should have women from NXT there because this is a big deal.
Right off
Raw
the top of my head,
SmackDown, we know it.
Right off the top of my head, if I were to bring a woman from TNA, Tessa Blanchard.
Oh yeah, Blanchard, big time.
Yep,
big time. And
Tessa Blanchard, Jody Thread, I'd put her in there too.
I mean, Masha
Slamovich, I'd put her
should
too.
Be in attendance because there is a match that night that affects her directly. So why not throw her in there to let her have a little fun? So all that being said, let's fast forward to tonight, what we've been given for information for tonight. So we do have obviously an opening segment tonight. Doesn't say who, just says opening segment. Now we do have Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker tonight. Give me your thoughts on that, please.
Sami Zayn's got himself a tall order, but he has beaten Braun in the past.
Yes.
And Braun has been getting a little too cocky for his britches as of late. Sami knows how to capitalize on that. Sami wouldn't surprise me if he pulled off the win in this match.
I don't know, because I think Braun is going to have a little distraction on the outside.
That's where I was going to
Go
That's
ahead.
where I was going to add a but. If you want to keep them dominant, Braun dominates Sammy tonight.
I don't even think that he's going to dominate him in like quote unquote a squash match. But
No, it's not going to be a squash. But
I think Sammy's going to get a little bit of a run in there, and then I think Paul Heyman's going to do something to distract him a little bit, where Breaker's going to capitalize and take that.
Yeah,
win.
I could see that, and this could lead to Sami Zayn maybe not quite being done with Karrion Kross.
Karrion might come out and be the distraction in itself. It may not be the wonderful Paul Heyman. It could be just somebody's music hitting or somebody showing up at the top of the ramp, and that's the distraction that Breaker needs.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is hilarious. This kills me.
I want to go back to the Karrion and Sammy thing, because if you remember at the end of that Sammy match, Karrion said something along the lines like, "I got him," or something like that to Scarlett, and was just smiling and laughing, even though he lost that match.
Because he's in his head.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Sammy's head right now. Sammy's second guessing a bunch of things. Like, am I being authentically true to myself? Am I being honest with the fans? You can see the gears. So Kross is in his head. So he's like, ha ha ha, he might have hit me. My jaw might hurt a little bit, but guess what, babe? We got him. He's hook, line, and sinker right now. So to go from what I'm going to say is going to be a good match because Sami Zayn's in it, to main event, Jey Uso taking on Bronson Reed. Talk about just this powerhouse tag team being able to fight individually as well.
Yeah. I already called this match the Battle of the Splashes.
Yeah,
because
literally.
Bronson Reed has his splash from the top, as does Jay. I forgot what Bronson's
the tsunami.
Yeah, thank you. The tsunami.
That's okay. And then we got the Uso splash from Mr. Uso.
And this is stemming, of course, from Jey Uso trying to come in and help during the big skirmish from last week.
Yes.
So now Jay has got himself involved in this whole Seth Rollins situation as well.
Yeah. Which, I mean, again, both these matches can go any which way you could think of because all these guys are big players, top dogs, will do and can do whatever they want. Who do you think wins this match?
I think if you want to keep Jay's momentum going, you probably need to give the win to Jay to rebuild that momentum since losing the World Heavyweight title.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. Hold on, let me pull my stuff back up here. It disappeared on me somehow. So you picked Bronson to win that match.
No, I'm going
Reed.
I'm going with Jay. Because if you want to keep his momentum built after losing the World Heavyweight, you might want to go with Jay continuing to win.
But at the same time, I'm going to play devil's advocate here for you. I think Bronson pulls this out. Again, showing that Seth Rollins' faction is just that powerful. And their fourth member has been, we seen him last week at the end of the show, which I'll point out here. It is, what's his name? Not Tongaloa. It's one of the Samoa. Oh no, never mind. That was a different.
Yeah, you're confusing stables there, buddy.
Yeah, I got them mixed up.
Hikuleo debuted. Yeah, Hikuleo debuted as Solo's newest member.
newest member. Yeah. Sorry, my bad, people. Because Reed to me is Samoan, and it throws me off every time I'm talking about him because I got him wrapped up
Well,
in the bloodline story.
You know why though? He's actually from New Zealand, so
No. I know he is, yes, but he's
from like South Australia, but he's got family from New Zealand, and they're all island boys essentially over in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, but the last time I seen him before he got hurt, he was in that cage match with the Bloodline.
Yeah, the War Games.
Yeah, the War Game, right? So I'm still trying to get my head around that he's not part of the Bloodline. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Bronson Reed to win this one just to keep that momentum for his group. Another interesting match after this one. I don't know when we don't know what order these are going to be in, by the way, people. So it's just kind of being tossed out here for you. Seth Rollins versus my boy Penta, who has not been on any kind of streak lately, but he's putting in amazing matches when he is in that ring. Who do you have going over in this?
Penta. And I think it's going to be because of LA Knight showing up. I think LA Knight comes in. We're going to say Seth has his number, right? At some point. Maybe he's preparing to do the curb stomp. LA Knight shows up, trips him, pulls him out of the ring, brawls with him. Referee's going to be knocked out somewhere. So
he'll be on the commentating side of the ring, not on the ground.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to put him when this goes down. Yeah.
So LA Knight shows up, brawls with him, maybe hits his finisher. Penta gets the win with the referee rolling back in.
Ooh.
This is LA Knight, because if we're going to go with, let's say we do go Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker winning, suddenly Seth Rollins has got all this momentum going into this match, but in a snap of a finger, LA Knight takes it all away.
It makes sense, dude. I could get behind that. Because I was going to go Rollins taking this one because of interference.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes more sense for Seth to lose because his boys have won. And now there's the interference of, like you said, there's the LA Knight factor that I completely forgot about.
Even Braun and Bronson can try to make that run in, but Jay and Sammy could cut them off at the pass at the same time.
Yeah, because they've already got their number. They've already been, Wow, that would be quite the match. I'm looking forward to this whole card. Even the next match that we have, Roxanne Perez versus Kairi Sane.
Yeah, this is to me, this is Roxanne trying to prove her worth to the Judgment Day by going after the woman who injured her. Liv Morgan, that is, that being Kairi Sane.
Yeah,
this is going to be a hell of a match between the two women, and I'm just going to point this out there. But Kairi Sane didn't injure Liv Morgan. They're just probably going to play off that as the story.
They're playing it that way. The same as the what's her name that got hurt 2 weeks before that?
Zoe Stark.
Zoe Stark. You can blame that on Kairi, but it's not. Just wrong place, wrong time, and things happen.
They were just both messed up maneuvers. That's all it was.
Yeah. Who do you think takes this match?
I'm going to say Roxanne. Roxanne takes this win. I
hate to say this.
And I think we're going to go with Kairi and Asuka tag teaming to become the Kabuki Warriors again in this situation. Because maybe it's Raquel that comes out and helps Roxanne get the win, maybe?
I don't know. What I think is going to happen is she's going to be told, go out there and prove your worth to the Judgment Day on your own. You're not getting help. You had to do this on your own. And she'll pull out the win. Roxanne's going to pull out the win. And that's when Judgment Day comes out, celebrates with her, and all that kind of stuff, because she's now part of the Judgment Day officially.
Yeah.
Because they voted her in now. But I think Raquel is just going to be like, you got to do this on your own. Prove to us that you're worth our time.
But I'm
And
going to
we
say
didn't, you know. Go ahead.
if Raquel does come out, Asuka comes out to be on the side of Kyrie to prevent Raquel,
Yeah,
thus leading to the Kabuki Warriors.
trying to.
Kyrie Sane and Asuka becoming a part of that fatal four-way.
If they win the tournament tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's a tournament tonight for Raw as well, which is one of the highlights that we have, that there's going to be a small tournament for the women to see who goes to Evolution to face our tag team champions. We will get a promo tonight, though, from the Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. She's going to give her, I guess, last promo before going into Evolution, where she's going to be facing Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
Now you know this is going to devolve into all three women arguing.
Oh, yeah,
arguing over who's going to win the match, and maybe you'll see either Lyra or Bayley try to get one up on Becky, or we see Bayley and Lyra brawl, and Becky just powders out and leaves.
Honestly, I think that's more likely than anything. Bayley and Lyra are so involved in this little feud they have going on that literally Becky could just go, "Why do you think you deserve to be? Why do you think you deserve to be here? What makes you so special to be coming after my title?" And then those two start, well, this is why. And then they start facing each other and going, no, blah, blah, blah. And then they start, and Becky just goes, "I'm out of here. I got what I wanted. I got used to at each other's throat. You're not even paying attention to me anymore." Later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how freaking sweet would that be for her? Because when you get to Evolution, who are they paying more attention to? They're paying more attention to each other because they're like, "Oh, this is my title. No, it's my turn," you know, blah, blah, blah. And Becky just sits there and lets them beat the shit out of each other.
It's Rhea, Bianca, and Io all over again.
But way more intense.
Yeah. And not Io getting pie faced every week, and that's how I knew Io was taking the win.
Oh, after a while, I was just like, dude, she's gonna beat both these women.
Yeah,
like redheaded stepchildren, like just absolutely annihilate them. But that's what I see going down with this. Is that you're correct? It's gonna break down into shenanigans where the two competitors, the two challengers for the title, are gonna be way too involved in each other. And the champ's just going to go, yeah, and she's going to giggle all the way up the ramp. And she's going to love every minute of it. Before we get going, because we do need to get over to the Raw Patrol, we do have another segment, which I don't think it's going to amount to anything other than a couple of words and then we're off the air kind of thing. But we're going to get Gunther and Goldberg contract signing. How do you feel about this?
So I've noticed that Gunther has just been getting a little too cocky for his britches a little bit lately.
Yeah,
I kind of expect Goldberg to get a spear on him.
Oh, so you expect this to kind of break down like every other
contract signing? Yeah. Table is going to be flipped over. Gunther's going to do something that's going to have his forces back to be turned. Turns around. Goldberg hits him with the spear.
Boom.
And then that last shot of the night, because I get a feeling that this is going to be what ends the night, is Goldberg standing over Gunther with the World Heavyweight title. Even though, in my personal prediction, Gunther's winning the match. But there is one more match that I'm surprised you didn't see that I'm looking at. El Grande Americano is scheduled to be in action tonight, too. Doesn't say who he's against, though. So I'm a little bit curious about that.
I was kind of leaving that one as a surprise because I feel the same way. You're right. Because, yeah, Yeah, I'm just
because I mean, like his El Grande Americano's main feud isn't even anywhere near him right now because he's got Seth Rollins later tonight.
Yeah, like I'm just like, what is going on? Whatever. Well, you know what, dude? There's a lot happening tonight. Again, this is the Raw before Saturday night's main event, which is July 12th. Okay.
We'll just call it the Raw before Atlanta because Atlanta's got 3 pay-per-views this weekend.
Yeah, so it's got what we
Great
have.
American, Great American Bash.
Yes.
Saturday night's main event and Evolution.
Yes, and Evolution. 3 in a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when is the NXT one, the Great American Bash? That's Saturday afternoon. So pay attention, people. And then we have, are we doing anything for Saturday night's main event?
There is a PLE Patrol for Saturday night's main event, but we will not be doing one out of respect for the women for Evolution. Because because everybody on our staff is guys. So it's kind of, you know what I mean?
Personally don't care. I mean, I would have done one and I would have just been like, hey, this is the match. That was incredible. You know, I don't, my problem is, I guess I don't see it the same as a lot of people do. I see it as it's professional wrestling. It's not men, it's not women, it's professional wrestling, period. That's why I dropped, and I don't know if you noticed, for the Intercontinental title, it's just the Intercontinental title, and then I say the person that's holding the title. I don't put women's or the men's or who cares. It's professional wrestling at its finest, and it is going to be epic. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at my Netflix right now, and Evolution is already up there, and it says coming live Sunday. Now, listen, you want to watch the NXT Bash at the Beach? Is that what it's called?
Great American Bash.
Great American Bash. Sorry. I always get them mixed up. That is supposed to be on Netflix as well, from what I understand. But Saturday night's main event,
if you're in the US, YouTube. Saturday nights is on Peacock, but the rest of the world, YouTube.
So there you go, people. As of right now, I should be here for Saturday night. I might be running in a little late because I have some prior engagements that day. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It is that time. We need to run to the Raw Patrol studio. So on that note, thank you everybody for showing up and listening to us discuss everything that's going to be coming up tonight. Hope you enjoy Raw with us. Please go over to the Turnbuckle Studios pages, support us, talk with us, and let's have some fun tonight, y'all. Peace out. We'll see you in a bit.